Alright, into our first video. Here we have a 16th head. I put the eyes on it and everything. We're going to do a New Age Chanel slab slayer, Nimrod tackle. Awesome, awesome, awesome guys. What we'll do is we'll get a little bit of, if I can find it here, Sally Hansen hard as nails, like everybody's using. Alright, we'll put a little bit on the hook. Just a dab, I don't use too much. Lay our first down, hold a little bit. Go down to about the hook point. Maybe just a little short, and come back up. I started doing this because I wanted to tie my own stuff and I wanted to catch my own fish with my own lures. So now we got that down. What we'll do is we will use some chartreuse feather, or we'll actually use some neck hackle. I like neck hackle a little bit better. It flares out a little bit more. I'll try to do this the best I can so you can see it. So you cut your V's out. I like my V's a little longer. So what it does is it gives you that flyaway type flare to it when you're tying it. Little flyaways like that. So awesome. And then we'll do one more big feather. I'm kind of picky when it comes to the feathers. I actually will tell you that all of my jig tying was, I started looking online just like everybody else, YouTube and everything else, and what I did come to find out is there's some really good ones, some that I follow and some that I've just watched their videos and I probably should follow but I haven't. But one of the top guys that I follow that showed me about everything that I know how to do is Eric Massey. Awesome YouTube channel. He does his own jig heads, paints them, cures them, everything. I mean, everything is awesome with Eric Massey. Very, very in-depth explanation of how and what he ties, and you know, his favorite, which is very awesome, because that he's taught me everything I know how to do. You know, I went with his review on the Peak Vise, and the hackle. You know how you get what hackle he uses and everything. So here's a little trick that I've learned. So it looks good like that, right? Looks pretty cool. What you do is, to get those big flyaways, you pinch off about that much on the very end, if you can see that, about that much on the very end, and cut that off. And pinch it real close and feather it out. And all of a sudden you start to get more flyaway. So when you put it on your hook, real light. And I mean real light. Almost where you can pull it out. Because what we're going to do is if we don't like the way that it looks, we can move it. Which I do not like the way that looks. We can move it, we can flare it out more. We can feather it. Because as you cinch it down, it'll start to flare out. You'll see. Go to right where we stopped. Looks pretty good, right? and lay the wood to it. Alright, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up, wrap it up. Get something that looks close to that right there. I think I would make Mr. Massey proud, I think. Alright, so then what we will do is we will add some flash. Without having eyes, it's got flash in it. But what I will do is I will add a piece of saltwater flash in the chartreuse color. It's like a chartreuse pearl. One thing with the rotary vise is you can move it to where you can use it. Looking at you, when I first started this and I first started getting into it, I did not have a rotary vise. Rotary vices do make it really nice. That's one thing I will say. Real lightly so you get it going down one side and then back up. Alright. Pull it and cut it. I cut it just short of my last feather. Do the same thing on the other side. Take that around. Pin it up. As you start to roll that over, that flash will move on you a little bit. That's alright. You can pin it against the tail. Look something like so, with the flash in it. It just gives it that little bit extra pop in the water. So like I said, we're using called Slab Slayer. I'll just get it rolled here. Lay it a little bit down. Real slow, get it tipped down. And just real soft down the body. And just lay your some back up through there. And I've seen guys do it both ways. I've seen guys do it with or without. I do put some Sally Hansen back on it, like so. Just a little bit to hold that chenille and that water. Just a preference of mine, I guess. You don't have to. And I wrap it pretty tight if it doesn't get tight all around this. I know I got a rotary vise, but I'm still a hand wrap guy, so I can feel the pressure. Right? Do one more. So when you get to this point, you go on this side of the head and bring it on the other side of the line or thread. I do about 4 good loops. I wrap it around one more time, pull it tight, cinch it. About 4 more loops and you can cut your chenille off. Right. Something like that's what you're looking at. Something like that. Right. And I've seen it done 2 ways also. I've seen guys apply some glue to the thread right here. I don't do that. That's just my preference. So I get my whip finisher. 1, 2, 3, 4 and snap it. Pull it tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull it tight. I'm ready to cut it off. Right? That's what we're looking at. And when I got this little tool, I don't know what it's called to come with it. I'm sure there's a cool name for it, but I don't have it. Get some Sally Hansen. Just tip it down in there real easy. Roll it around the lid. Stick it on that thread. Roll that thread around that rotary vise. Something like that. Make sure you get your little flyaways off of it. Put Put your lid back on. And there you have the way I tie. Right, wrong, or indifferent. You know, everybody has their own way of doing it. Like I said, I learned a lot from Eric Massey. He's been the one who's probably been the most inspirational in my tying. You know, the learning and following and watching how he does it. But there's so many really good guys out there that tie, and I'm hoping to tie and make another one here in the future for you guys. There it is.